Sheikh Dr. Muhammad Ali Shomali is a graduate of the Islamic seminaries of after achieving his bachelor's and master's degree in Western philosophy from the University of Tehran. He then went on to achieve a doctorate in philosophy from the University of Manchester. He's also the founding director of the International Institute of the Islamic Studies in as well as the founding director of International Institute. And I spent the last 20 years being involved and participated in panels with key members across Canada, US, and multiple countries in Europe and Asia. Please, I would like to welcome him with the loudest of salawat to talk about the Rasulullah and the noble character.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-aliyyil azim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف. First, I offer you my condolences for the demise anniversary of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba and Imam al-Rida alayhi salam. The last few days of the month of Safar remind us of great tragedies, but maybe the greatest tragedy is the demise of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not for us Muslims only, but for humanity. Because as Amir al-Mu'minin said, with the demise of the Prophet, something stopped which never stopped before, and that is revelation. If you think carefully about the blessing of receiving direct communication from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you would realize that how much humanity was blessed when there was a prophet among them. We had 124,000 prophets. Each of them served as a link, as a connection that Allah used to communicate directly to human beings. And then among them we have messengers, we have Rasul, who were given message, and then Rasulullah is Khatamun Nabiyyin, and certainly Khatamul Mursaleen, because the Rasul has to be also prophet. So he was the last person that kept this connection, and with his demise, the whole gate for prophetic revelation was closed. So it's very sad. Plus, we as Muslims have a special love and appreciation for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam for all his sacrifices for our guidance. So we offer also all together our condolences to Imam Mahdi ajallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. My topic is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and noble traits of character. There is a hadith that you must all have heard. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is quoted as saying, "Innama bu'ithtu li'utammima makarim al-Akhlaq." Innama, we say, is adatul hasr, means this is the case and nothing else. So it means that this is the reason, and nothing can replace this, and nothing even can be put next to it. Although sometimes hasr can be a relative issue, we call it hasr izafi, but anyway, this is a great level of emphasis that I have been raised, I have been appointed by Allah لِأُتَمِّمَ, in order to complete or accomplish Makarim al-Akhlaq, noble traits of character. I wanted to share with you something about sanad of this. So from one of the articles on the documentation, I quickly share something, and then inshallah we go to our analysis of this hadith, and then we try to inshallah elaborate on that. So as far as some researchers have done, among the earliest Shia sources that have quoted this hadith, we have al-Risalat al-Alawiyya by Muhammad ibn Ali Karachaki, who died in 449, in Tafsir Majma' al-Bayan by the late Tabarsi, who died in 548. We also have this hadith. So in the 5th and 6th century, we have this hadith. Then we also have it in introduction to the book Makarim al-Akhlaq by another Tabarsi. And also in Fiqh al-Rida, Salaam alaykum wa rahmatullah, we have بعثت بمكارم الاخلاق. So it's not exactly the same wording, إنما بعثت لأتمم مكارم الأخلاق, but there is similar wording, بعثت بمكارم الأخلاق. And also Sheikh in his Amali quotes بعثت بمكارم الأخلاق وبمحاسن. Our Sunni brothers also have it. So in the 5th century, Bayhaqi has got this, and then we also have in earlier ones Malik ibn Anas, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, and Muhammad ibn Ismail al-Bukhari. So although some people try to say we are not 100% sure about the chain of the narration, but it's very much present in both Shia and Sunni sources, and some people can say that we can even say that the content is mutawatir, means tawatur ma'nawi. And our ulama have treated this hadith with recognition, and they have acknowledged the content of hadith, and we can find it also evidenced in indirect ways, like reference to Makarim al-Akhlaq in many places. So it's a respected, it's a reliable hadith, and if you want to a little bit, unpack this hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like any prophet, has a mission, and this mission can include different things. For example, in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhan nabi, inna arsalnaka shahidan wa mubashiran wa nadhiran wa da'iyan ila Allah bi'idhnihi wa sirajan munira wa bashir al-mu'minina bi'anna lahum min Allah fadlan kabira wa la tuti'il kafirina wal munafiqina wa da'adhahum wa tawakkal ala Allah. This is a mission statement. And in some lectures I have explained, this mission statement and how important it is. Or as our brother mentioned, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. This is also another mission statement. Or هُوَ الَّذِي بَعْثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ رَسُولًا مِّنْهُمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَإِنْ كَانُوا مِنْ قَبْلُ لَفِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. Indeed, it was dua of Ibrahim and Ismail when they were raising the foundation of Kaaba. They said, وَابْعَثْ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِكَ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ. So we have idea from Quran that the mission of the Prophet was a mission of being a witness, being a warner, being a person who gives bishara for those who do good things. He was a person who was sent by Allah to be rahmah for all people, not only even all people, all creatures, lil alameen. And he was to purify people, to teach people the book and wisdom. So there is a whole range of things that Rasulullah had to undertake. But this hadith says that for Rasulullah himself, all these were a matter of helping people with developing noble traits of character. You know, sometimes, for example, you as a teacher want to teach people, for example, in the school, maths. Maybe you have to teach, 8 months, 9 months, but you say, I have to reach this end. If I achieve, this means I have been successful. So Rasulullah is telling us that my mission is to complete and accomplish noble traits of character. If I manage to make people first aware of this, and second motivated, and third successful in developing this, then I am successful. Otherwise, I feel I have not done my job. Although we know that Rasulullah is only responsible for delivery of the message. Yeah? وَمَا عَلَى الرَّسُولِ إِلَّا الْبَلَاغِ. But he was so much feeling responsible that even if people don't listen, he feels he is guilty. Like if you are a good teacher and you prepare yourself, you prepare everything, the classroom, on the board, everything is ready, but the students don't show up, or if they come they don't listen. You don't say, I am happy because I did my job and it was their fault. You feel very bad and you keep thinking, did I do something wrong? Did I maybe fail to do something? You feel very responsible, yeah? Or even if as father, mother, if you have done your best for upbringing of your children, but your children go to wrong direction, still you feel very bad. Although maybe you did everything. For example, Prophet Nuh, I'm sure he was not feeling happy that he did everything and his son decided to be bad. He was feeling perhaps he's guilty. In any case, Rasulullah was feeling very responsible to the extent that Allah says, Taha ma anzalna alayka al-Qur'ana litashqa, or la'allaka bakhi'un nafsaka. So, he wanted to see that everyone goes to heaven. Everyone in dunya also would have heavenly qualities. So, as the top thing on his agenda is Makarim al-Akhlaq. Now, let us see what are Makarim al-Akhlaq, and inshallah see how he himself implemented and how we should implement. So, we have some hadith in which there is a reference to Mahasin al-Akhlaq. So, first I read for you something about Husn al-Khulq. We have many hadiths about Husn al-Khulq, and this shows that this is the bottom line. No one can think Husn al-Khulq is a bonus or is just a kind of recommendation. But we say even Husn al-Khulq is not enough. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, اقربكم مني غدا احسنكم اخلاقا. On the day of judgment, inshallah, if Allah allows us to go to heaven, still it doesn't mean that we will all be close to the Prophet because heaven has different degrees and ranks, and maybe someone is in heaven but still not very close to the Prophet or Imams. So if we want to be close to the Prophet, we need to resemble him. One of the characteristics of the Prophet was he was very kind to people. He was very nice, forgiving, easygoing, gentle with people. So he says, those among you who have better husnul khulq, they are, they have good temper, they will be closer to me. اقربكم مني غدا احسنكم اخلاقا واقربكم من الناس. Also those who are nearest to people. If you are nearer to people, you are nearer to me, and you are nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You may have heard this story from me that I think was 2015. We had a conference in University of Oxford with some Protestant friends, and the main topic was faith and modernity. Alhamdulillah, it's published. One session was about spirituality, and a Christian friend talked about spirituality from their perspective. And for the sake of my own understanding, I asked him, how do you measure success in spirituality? So, if I want to know whether I have made any progress or not, how can I measure? He said something and then he turned the question to me. And I had not thought about the answer, so just quickly I thought, and this came to my mind. So it was like a result of my convictions, but he triggered it. So I told him two things that still I very much believe, and if people ask me, I tell them. I said, there are many ways to measure your success, and maybe a more reliable way is to see your success in the opinion of believers. If Mu'mineen have good opinion about you, those who know you, those who live with you, if they have good opinion, inshallah this is more reliable way, because we may sometimes admire ourselves without deserving that. But if you want to evaluate yourself, then there are two things that I can say they work a lot. I cannot say 100% because still we may make mistake, but they are very close to the truth. One is that you will enjoy moments of prayer and connection with God. Those who are more spiritual, they should feel during salat or dua very happy, because this is where you have privacy with God. If you have a stronger spirituality, it means you have developed more love for God, and therefore you should be more happy when you are alone with Him. Number two, I said, in my understanding of Islamic spirituality, whenever you are closer to God, you should be closer to people. And this is what we see in example of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was not saying, I want to be close to God and therefore I distance myself from people. Yeah? Or, I have no interest in talking to people, or I reduce my conversation with people. Indeed, Rasulullah was very much available, accessible for people. So, we know that Rasulullah was not observing any kind of protocols, for meeting people. He didn't have guards, he didn't have securities, he didn't, choose a special place to sit. He was always in circle. people look the same. If someone was a stranger in Medina, was not able to find who is Rasulullah unless looking at his face, at his talk. But for example, say who is sitting on a big chair, or I don't know who is protected by soldiers or guard. No, he was very simple. Even people could go to his house easily without permission. Then Allah said you should ask permission. People, old people, young people, children, kids, all were able to talk to Rasulullah. Yeah? So Rasulullah had this idea that if you are closer to Allah, or if you want to get closer to Allah, you should be kind to people, because Allah loves his people very much. Okay? So the sign of progress in spirituality, one is, how do you feel with respect to salat and dua? Number two, how do you feel towards other people? If you love them, then it's a sign of loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here he says, اقربكم مني غدا احسنكم اخلاقا واقربكم من الناس. The closest of you to me on the day of judgment will be those who have better akhlaq and are closer to people. In another hadith, Rasulullah said, إن العبد لينال بحسن خلقه درجة الصائم القائم. Sometimes a person is not fasting every day or a few days every month, just fasting months of Ramadan. It's not that all the night is doing tahajjud. Yeah, it's good to do it, but maybe someone for some reason is not doing this, but has very good akhlaq, very kind and very nice with people. Rasulullah says, with husnul khuluq, it's possible to reach the position of as-Sa'im al-Qa'im. Someone who is always fasting. If someone is only fasting the months of Ramadan, we don't say he is as-Sa'im. Yeah? As-Sa'im al-Qa'im is someone who is always fasting and always doing Qiyamul Layl. It's a very high position, but with your good akhlaq you can reach that position. Now imagine if someone has good akhlaq and is as-Sa'im al-Qa'im, what happens? Like Rasulullah himself. In another hadith, Rasulullah said, اكمل المؤمنين ايمانا احسنهم خلقا. The most perfect Muslims in their faith are those who have better akhlaq. How do you deal with your husband or wife? Are they happy, or they just are patient? How do you deal with your parents or children or siblings or neighbors or colleagues, clients? Islam is not just seen in certain rituals. They are very important, but Islam should be seen in the way we show love and kindness and care to each other. If people are sad and you don't feel anything, this is weakness of iman. If someone has a problem and I just enjoy my day, this is sign of weakness. Rasulullah, as the Quran says, was harisun alayh. He was very concerned about it. Azizun alayhi ma anattum. When people were in difficulties, in trouble, it was very, very difficult for Rasulullah. Like a father who cannot see his child in pain. بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. In the Quran we have about, if I'm not mistaken, 127 times Rahim is used. 127. All except one are for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 126 is for Allah. Only one is used for someone other than Allah, and that is for the Prophet. المؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. We have رحماء as plural form. محمد رسول الله والذين معه أشداء على الكفار رحماء بينهم. But the Rahim is only for Allah and once for the Prophet. And even these people who are Ruhama, who made them Ruhama? Rasulullah made them Ruhama, because these were the people that before Islam, they didn't have this love for each other. They didn't even have mercy for their children, for their daughters. Rasulullah pumped so much love into this society that they became Ruhama Ubayna. They were happy to die for each other. But unfortunately, when Rasulullah left them, when he was no longer there to charge them with mercy, many of them went backward. So, اكمل المؤمنين ايمانا احسنهم خلقا. The best of them in اخلاق. وإنما المسلم من سلم المسلمون من يد لسانه ويده. A Muslim is the one that other Muslims should feel safe from the tongue of this person, from hand of this person, from anything coming from this person. When Rasulullah says we have to be kind, how can then we be unkind and even unjust to each other? Justice in Islam is the bottom line. I always say that Adala, which is what still humanity has not achieved, is for us only the bottom line. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ وَالْإِحْسَانِ. Adl is not enough. If you say, I give all the rights of, for example, my wife or my, husband, and nothing more, or I give the rights to my employee, nothing more, you don't show rahmah, you don't show, care, you don't show love, this is not enough. Justice is minimum. Then there should be ihsan. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ وَالْإِحْسَانِ. So, if we harm each other or hurt each other with our tongues or hands, it means that we are even not operating at the bottom line. We are even lower than bottom line. We are not Muslims. Even definition of Muslim would not be applicable spiritually. Maybe from fiqh perspective we say he's Muslim because it says shahadatain. But from a spiritual perspective, Muslim is man saluma al-muslimun min lisanihi wa yadih. And also this doesn't mean only Muslims. When Rasulullah said this, maybe this was in Medina when everyone is a Muslim. When I talk to Muslims, say, Muslims should feel safe about each other. It doesn't mean that if there is a Christian, it's no problem to. No, the audience were Muslims. Otherwise, a Muslim should be someone that any human being, even animals, should not be afraid of his injustice. Yeah? We should not do injustice even to animals, even to environment. Yeah? If we do injustice to the environment is also a problem. So, this is one level, husnul khulq. But then, what is Makarim al-Akhlaq? Makarim al-Akhlaq is a very high level of husnul khulq. Husnul khulq can be helping people, especially by reciprocating. Sometimes you help them, sometimes they help you. This is mutual. Makarim al-Akhlaq is to go further. This is very high. We are not talking about justice, which is the minimum. We are not even talking about good temper. No, it's even more. It means that you are able to own your emotions and feelings and do good to the people who have wronged you. This is more difficult. Sometimes I am kind with the people as long as I don't have bad history with them. Yeah, I am very kind. For example, people are okay, I don't hurt them with my tongue. But if I hear they have said something bad about me, then I say 10 bad things about them. Or when I was in need, they didn't help me, now they are in need. I say, I am never going to help them. Makarim al-Akhlaq means you need to have so much control over your emotions and feelings that you would not consider what this person has done before. Whether he was good to you or bad to you. Even you don't think whether you know him or you don't know him. You just show honorable and noble traits of character. If someone is enjoying Makarim al-Akhlaq, means if someone is Karim, would not say, I am only kind to the people that I know. Yeah? If you go to someone who is Karim, would he say, I don't know you, so I don't care? No. For Karim, it is enough if someone goes to him and has hope in him. If you go to Karim and say, I have come to you with hope that you would help me, he feels embarrassed not to help you. This is why in our du'as, especially, for example, du'a Abu Hamza, you see we so much emphasize on raja. And we say to Allah, I have come with hope to you. Because Allah is not going to disappoint someone who goes with hope to him. Yeah? Imagine if someone goes with some hajat from far place and finds the house of Karim and knocks the door and says to the Karim, I have come from another city because I heard you are very kind and generous people. Do you think Karim would send him without helping? It's impossible. Yes, maybe Karim is someone who doesn't have something to offer, but at least would feel responsible that I should do something. In the case of Allah, He always has things to give. So He has no need. So when we go with hope to Him, He will give us. So someone who has Makarim al-Akhlaq, someone who is enjoying karama and is Karim, would not distinguish by saying I help my friends and not strangers, or even would not say I don't help my enemy when my enemy is in need. For example, imagine if someone has been your enemy but now needs your help. Someone tried hard to ruin your reputation, for example, in the community, but now he's ill, for example, and needs help. Or his child is ill, needs your help. You are a doctor, or you can arrange. You would not say, because you hurt me in the past, I don't want to help you. It's impossible. So, narrator says, I asked Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. So there are two hadiths, both from Imam Sadiq. One was about husnul khulq, one was about makarim al-akhlaq. So he says, I asked Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, ma haddu husnul khulq? What is the definition of husnul khulq? Qala تلين جانبك وتلين جانبك وتطيب كلامك وتلقى أخاك ببشر حسن. Lower your side, meaning be humble. Husnul means not to be arrogant, be humble, speak nicely, and when you meet your brother, you meet with happiness, with joy, not as someone who is angry or upset. Yeah. So this is definition of husnul khuluq. This is very simple, very basic. Although we even may fail in this. Sometimes we speak, but we hurt people. Even sometimes you don't notice how by teasing people or saying things you hurt them. Everyone has problems. Yeah. Whenever you go out in the morning for work or whatever, think that people have problems. Maybe my smile, maybe my nice words can reduce their pain, at least for some time. But if you fail to even smile and give few nice words to people, then how we are going to expect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show His mercy to us? Even something like a smile which doesn't cost you anything. Something like nice words. And if na'udzubillah we hurt people, sometimes we don't notice because you are in bad mood. Without understanding, you say bad things to people. You are disrespectful to people. You feel, someone damaged my day. Why I should be kind to these people? This is wrong. So Imam Sadiq says, Husnul khuluq means to be humble and gentle, speak nicely, and meet people with, good appearance, with, smile. But then Imam Sadiq was asked about Makarim al-Akhlaq, just higher level. He said, al-'afw amman zalamak. This is a person with history, a person who has done zulm to you. Okay? You have to forgive. Wasilatu man qata'ak. Connect to someone who has disconnected. You came to this city, you were alone, you didn't know anything anywhere. There was someone who didn't help you, who didn't visit you. But now, don't say, because he did this to me, I'm going to do the same. And think I'm not doing something bad, I'm just doing what he did. No. Connect to those who disconnected. وَإِعْطَاءُ مَنْ حَرَمَكَ. Give to those who deprived you. How much you have to be in control of your emotions, because your sense of anger says, now you can enjoy by not giving them, letting them suffer because they didn't help you when you were in need. Yeah? But if you are enjoying noble traits of character, if you have fragrance of Rasulullah, you would not do this. You say, now actually it's good time for me to do something sincerely, because I have bad history with this person, my nafs doesn't want this. So it's better to do it. Amir al-Mu'minin says, Kana li fi ma madha akhun fillah. In the past I had a brother in God that was very great. He described that brother. One of the characteristics of that person was إِذَا بَدَهَهُ أَمْرَانِ. When he was faced with two choices, he had to choose between two. He was finding which one is something that he enjoys more, his nafs is more inclined to. And then do the opposite. Yeah? See where is your comfort, where is your emotions taking you, and do the opposite. So when someone has deprived you, it's very difficult to help them. But this is what your nafs doesn't want, so you have to do it so that you gain more freedom. وَقَوْلُ الْحَقِّ وَلَوْ عَلَى نَفْسِكَ. Those who have noble traits of character, even if you have an issue with them, he tells you that you are right. I forgot, I made mistake, you are right. Some people keep insisting on their words, even if they know that they made mistake, they feel it's bad. I am embarrassed to say. If I had not said at the beginning, it was okay, but I feel bad to say I made mistake, I forgot, you are right. But one of the noble traits of character is to acknowledge your mistake. So you see, Rasulullah has come لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاق, not لِأُعَلِّمَ مَكَارِمَ. He didn't come just to teach us. He expects us also to accomplish and raise ethical bars of humanity to this level. We should not be at the level of just justice or at the level of husnul khulq, to reciprocate. If someone has done good, do good. هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان. This is good, but this is not enough. We should go higher and we should do good to the people who have done bad to us. لا تستوي الحسنة ولا السيئة ادفع بالتي هي أحسن السيئة. Quran says good and bad are not the same. If someone has done bad to you, ادفع بالتي هي أحسن, not بالحسنة only. Find the best, not just good. Someone has done bad to you, find the best thing you can do. What happens? فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ. Then many of enmities stop. If someone has done bad to me, I do good, it changes. Or at least he is not going to become worse. But if he does bad and I do bad, then he does worse and I do worse, then this competition and harming each other. We see now people have lots of difficulties in families, in neighborhood, in community, outside. Why? Because they just operate based on emotions, anger, demanding my right, why I should forgive, why I should be, flexible, why I should be kind with them, I should demand my rights. When it comes to social life, if you just insist on your rights, you will have miserable life. You have to be forgiving, you have to be kind, you have to be generous, you have to compromise many things so that you can move. Otherwise you get into trouble with everyone. So Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, العفو عمن ظلمك والصلة من قطعك وإعطاء من حرمك وقول الحق ولو على نفسك. I stop here and just read a few lines in Farsi and try to explain about the tragedy of the demise of Rasulullah. Actually, this poem that I selected, inshallah, if I find it, it is about also moral characteristics of the Prophet. ای محمد، ای رسول بهترین کردارها. O messenger of the best practices. حسن خلقت شهره در اخلاقها، رفتارها. Your good akhlaq is well known among, all the leaders, among all the personalities, all the people. You are known for your good akhlaq, to the extent that Allah says, اِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. در بیانت بند می آید زبان ناطقان، قامت مدحت کجا و خلعت گفتارها. No speaker can explain your good qualities. No words can dress your praise, meaning they fall short. بال رفتن تا حریمت را ندارد این قلم، قاب قوسینت کجا و مرقک پندارها. He says, my pen cannot reach your level. Someone that Allah says, ثم دنا فتدلى فكان قاب قوسين وأدنى. How can with my pen I get close to you? طفل ابجد خان تو سلمان 300 ساله است، استوار مکتب ایثار تو عمارها. Salman, who is thought that he was 300 years old, he had a very long life, says he's just like a child in your school. He's just learning basic from you. His advanced student is Amir al-Mu'minin. Salman is just like a child in that school of the knowledge of the Prophet. Ammar is just like a sergeant in the army of the Prophet. But Ammar is a hero. تا نفس داریم و تا خورشید میتابد به خاک، دل به عشق بی زوالت می کند اقرارها. As long as I am breathing, as long as this sun is shining on the earth, my heart is acknowledging great love for you. So my love is not temporary love. No matter we are in the, 21st century, or we are going to be, in the 30th century or 40th century, God knows, how many years this world is going to take. Our love for Rasulullah is the same. Inshallah, it will increase actually, because when we are more understanding, inshallah, our love should increase. Then he says, کی رود از خاطرم یادت که در روز ازل کندند اسم تو را بر سنگ دل حجارها. He says, there is a special relation between us and you, because in eternity, even before we come to this world, the name of you is imprinted on our heart. داغ تو در سینه ما هست چو خاک توییم، لاله کی روییده در آغوش شور زارها. We have hadith that مؤمنین are made from the clay, the extra clay. شیعتنا خلقوا من فاضل طینتنا. This set of hadiths are very much discussed by our ulama. Ahadith of Tina. What does it mean, Tina? It's a very beautiful discussion. So he says, because we are from the same clay, we feel very deeply sad for your demise. Because when you are created from the same clay, يَحْزَنُونَ لِحُزْنِنَا وَيَفْرَحُونَ لِفَرَحِنَا. Automatically, like sometimes you have seen fathers, especially mothers, if their children lives in another city, all of a sudden they get worried without any signal. Then when there is conversation, phone call, at that time I had a problem. So especially mothers, feel this. So when it's the time of azan, mourning for Ahlul Bayt, we should automatically feel. Or if Imam Mahdi is in pain, we should feel. When we are in pain, definitely they feel. But it should be also the other way around, that we feel the sorrow. گل که منسوب تو گردد رنگ و بویش میدهند شاهد حرفم گلاب و شیشه عطار. He says, if a flower is called after you, is named after you, then it would have beautiful fragrance. You know, we have Gul Muhammadi, some type of rose water, you know, is from this type of flower. We call it Gul Muhammadi. It has the best smell. So people would not find any flower suitable to be called after the Prophet unless it has beautiful fragrance. وقت رزمت آنچنانی که میان کارزارها رو به تو آرند وقت خستگی کرارها. On the other hand, Rasulullah in the battle, despite being very kind, but he was also very brave. It was not that he was kind and fearful. He was very brave, to the extent that he refers to what Amir al-Mu'minin said. Amir al-Mu'minin said, كنا إذا احمر البعث اتقينا برسول الله. Whenever battle was very, fierce and severe, we used to take refuge with Rasulullah. ای که با خون دلت پرورده ای اسلام را چشم وا کن که نهالت داده اکنون بارها. O the one who with the blood of your heart you try to develop Islam and Islamic Ummah, now open your eyes and see that the tree that you have planted is bearing fruits. سنگ می خوردی و می گفتی که ایمان آورید کس ندیده از رسولی این چنین ایثارها. People were hitting you with stones in Mecca, in Ta'if, you know the stories. But still you didn't stop. Still you were calling people towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, towards faith. با ایادت از کسی که بارها آزرده‌ات روح ایمان را دمیدی بر دل بیمارها. When someone kept annoying you and became ill, you asked and went to visit. So you were so kind and so forgiving. And then he says, رفتی و داغ تو پشت دین رحمت را شکست جان به لب شد از غمت شهرت مدینه بارها. But finally you left the city of Medina and the back of religion of Rahmah was broken with your departure. تا که چشمت بسته شد ای قافل سارار عشق رم نمودن عده‌ای و پاره شد افسارها. As soon as your eyes were closed, O the master of the caravan of love, unfortunately some people changed and they started doing bad things, especially to Ahlul Bayt. آنقدر گویم پس از تو میخ در هم خون گریست. آنقدر گویم پس از تو میخ در هم خون گریست. ناله ها برخاست بعدت از در و دیوارها. Just to say it briefly, after you even the nail in the door cried blood. After you there were lots of cries. Sallallahu alayka ya Rasulullah, ya Nabi al-Rahmah wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to include us among true Muslims, among true followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. O Allah, because of the Prophet, please forgive all our sins, mistakes and shortcomings. Please enable us to follow the beautiful path of love and mercy and noble traits of character that Rasulullah showed us. Please enable us and all Muslim Ummah to go back to the tradition and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ and show the beauty of Islam to the people of the world. Please hasten the coming of Imam Mahdi and please make his heart happy with us. Please give shafa to all people who are ill. Please give shafa to all people who are ill. Please send rahmah and maghfirah to all المؤمنين and المؤمنات who passed away, especially those who have rights upon us. Please accept this majlis from all of us, especially the organizers. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
احسنتم شيخنا طيب معكم for your